But we now know after the fact here. It's one thing, as I ventured with you, if you knew before the fact that the perpetrators behind those 9/11 attacks, what they were up to, that's one thing. Here we have the actual phone of the actual perpetrator in an attack that killed more than a dozen. Is there anything to debate here?
Yes, there is something to debate. And can the government, with very little showing, without congressional authority, go to you and ask you to violate your rights or the rights of the people that you work with? Suppose that they want sources, confidential sources that have worked with you. You have to defend the constitutional rights that protect us all, including people that are all over this country. We're also talking about tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of people, that if Apple is forced to create a system to disable the security in its phones, will represent serious threats to people all over the world.
They say that's not the case. It's one phone. It's one and done. It's this phone. It's the phone of the perpetrator behind this terrorist attack. You open that phone, and you don't have to make a constitutional argument out of it. Just open the phone and find out.
You're not listening to me. They're requiring a change in the system that we have already got legal proceedings pending in various other courts throughout the United States that would address this same subject and would move forward with respect to penetrating other cell phones. Once it is done, Pandora's box is open for the government to keep saying this is one phone, one situation. How do I know that?
How do you know? What if they said, it's just this phone, open this phone, we want to know who the hell this guy was talking to, communicating with, just this phone.
They're already saying they want to use this same authority in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in the Northern District of Chicago or Illinois. We've got pending proceedings throughout the country where the government is asking the same thing. As I said, the District Attorney of New York has said, I have 175 cell phones here. As soon as the government gets what it wants in San Bernardino, I intend absolutely, he said, I intend absolutely to use that same authority with respect to those other 175 phones. And there are district attorneys or law enforcement authorities all over the country that want this same authority. They want Apple to design a system to change its iPhone, to disable its encryption system so that law enforcement authorities can get it whenever they put together a proposed writ like this.
But what if it never came to that? What if it's a one-and-done case with this one? I know you're doing it, but here's the key point. If they could just see this phone, who this guy communicated. This was a terror attack in this country. We know the guy who did it. We don't know what exactly was happening in about a 20-minute time frame. It might be on that phone. This is the only means by which to get it. You're not making on it, but how you get into the phone or leaving the feds with any knowledge or secret access to that phone. You've opened it up, or a technician has opened it up, one and done. That phone, that perpetrator, done.
There is no way to stop it when the genie is out of the bottle. We're not just talking about the federal government. We're talking about state and local governments that have law enforcement desires to get into cell phones whenever they think there's a crime or evidence of a crime that be committed. It is not one and done. The government keeps saying this. But there is evidence here.
Ted, this is the phone of the guy behind the attacks.
And these were terrible people. There's no question about that. But if you throw out the Constitution here, when Congress hasn't even acted, why not put this to debate where our elected representatives, the government has a bill that they decided not to submit to Congress, why not have a debate about the balance between security in these cell phones, which tens and hundreds of millions of people are depending upon?
What would Congress do? Set a standard by which, when, and how you can access a phone?
Well, Congress has already done that. It's a Community Assistance for Law Enforcement Act. That law already exists. It does not cover this situation. We're saying that there should be a debate with respect to whether or not and under what circumstances the government can achieve this kind of information. Congress, it shouldn't just be the executive branch. We have elected representatives to consider a balance. FBI Director Jim Comey, who I respect enormously, has specifically said this is a serious issue. It should be debated by the people. There are balances on either side. What in the world is wrong with having the elected branch, the legislative branch, 1/3 of our government, weigh in? That's the place where these things should be debated and resolved.